we're at the inevitable Doctor Who episode.
Woo! It's a long time coming.
Finally, after referencing it week in, week out, we're here to actually talk about Doctor Who properly.
Yeah. And it's a good episode to start with, actually.
It was. And with me tonight is Arlen Harrow.
Hey, guys.
Hunter Davenport.
X-Men Apocalypse. Fuck it.
That was new. And Alan Muir.
Fuck Scott Buck.
Oh, we've got two? Okay, that's... Alright. I'm on board with those.
Okay. And all agree on those points.
Yeah, so Doctor Who came back this week. The start of Moffat's last run. And I'm not one to usually say that I can really tell the difference between a Davies episode and a Moffat episode.
Yeah.
This, however, did not feel like a Moffat episode.
Nope.
It's working, that's for sure.
Yeah. He's done scary stuff before, but this felt different to me. Felt like a response to any criticisms about him being samey or just doing the same thing over and over again.
Yes, and this episode was radically different from anything we've seen, especially recently. The pacing was very, I won't say brisk, it carried along very well.
Yeah. And
the comedy was kind of was successful in ways I wasn't expecting.
Yeah. Very.
I laughed really hard when she's like, "It's big on the inside," and the Doctor and what's his face was like, "Yeah, we got there," and they shook hands.
Yeah, it's definitely more.
Totally
the self-aware comedy is more on point.
When they're making fun of themselves, it's the best.
Yeah.
And yes, once again, Doctor Who's low-key terrifying.
Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ.
This fucking water alien thingamajig.
Yeah, it's like there's a list on a board somewhere, and they're just going through, and they're like, how can we make this scary or scarier?
All right, everybody, write your irrational fears in this board, and every once in a while, we'll pull from it.
Yeah. They're like, damn it, we knocked gas masks out really early. We gotta keep on reinventing this wheel. But they've succeeded. I mean, this water creature is very, it's very spooky.
I like the actress they had, in there as, I guess, most of the time human,
the
time
pilot?
Water monster. Yes, whatever. I can't remember her name.
Heather, that's her name.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Billy fancies the girls, which is all right.
All right. Yeah,
wouldn't be the first time we've had a gay character, or at least a kind of a bisexual.
First primary canon companion. Yeah. Because we've had secondary. I consider Jack to be a companion. Yeah, but he's not Rose. He's not, name another primary. But
I can't remember the girl from season 3. I don't remember her name
Martha.
at all. There we go.
Yeah.
Why did you say that name?
That's how the doctor is involved in that.
Mirtha. All 12 doctors come up and go, "Why'd you say that name?"
Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I also like Billy. I think Billy's instantly likable. And actually, I was going to bring up Martha anyway because Billy's kind of catty to the Doctor, but in ways that are amusing and funny. Not the way that Martha seemingly was constantly hissing at the Doctor. And he was hissing back at her. It was really irritating.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's problem with the Martha storyline is the unrequited love thing, which became very annoying. Although, because I didn't watch it as it aired, my reaction to Martha was very much like, really? People don't like this that much? I don't get it. But yeah, I do like this better. I do like this. This reminds me more of Tennant and Catherine Tate a lot. It's a little bit less, I'll say, mean, because those two would be real mean with each other, but it's very...
And I think that's what helped Billy, is that their chemistry as, her being, totally taken in by all the amazingness and him being, him, was awesome right off the bat.
It reminds me of Trouton and Jamie.
That is well before me. I am a new Who guy.
It was well before my.
I don't even know who that is.
Jamie McMillan.
He was a Scottish companion.
Yeah, the only Scottish companion.
Well, Amy's Scottish, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
Isn't what's her face Karen Pond?
Karen Pond?
Or whatever. Sorry, I'm a little drunk right now.
Karen Gillan.
Yes, Amy
Karen
Gillan.
Yeah, isn't she Scottish?
Yeah, Amy Gillan Pond, Blackthorn Catherine.
She's extremely Scottish.
Yeah, she was Scottish also. I'm sure there was another one.
The reason I mentioned second two and Jamie is because they seem is that they've got the thing that, like you said, that Tennant and
Tate had.
Yeah, like they're
kind of
best mates.
Yeah, they're exchanging barbs while being very friendly. Although again, they would go for the throat. This is a little bit sweeter than that, but still they're willing to put each other down, which I really enjoy. That's why I think fourth season is Tennant's best season, because they're just making jokes at each other's expense the whole time. So that's a good sign.
Out of his technical 4-year run,
right?
If I had to rank it, it'd be 4-3-2, because I kind of hated that the Rose romance.
Same. Yeah, we're getting real into the history, but that's the thing. What makes this episode great, I will say, is that this is a great starter episode. I mean,
oh, absolutely. I was gonna say we got Daleks in there without having it seem forced.
Yep, and it is a good thing that every 5 years or so that they do this. That there's a new sort of starter episode for new people to jump onto, because that's what the 11th Hour is. And I'm not going to say that this will replace 11th Hour as what I suggest for everybody. But if somebody comes to me and says, I didn't like the 11th Hour, and after I look at them shocked and confused, I will probably
consider punching them.
Then don't watch the show and leave me alone.
Yep, probably.
I need to think.
I'm done with you.
No, I thought this is. I think you're absolutely right. I thought this episode kind of it didn't rely on some previous status quo to like open up with. Like it's implied that Doctor's been at this university for quite a while, and he's just kind of taking it easy.
Yeah, you don't need to know who the pictures on his desk are, but if you do, that's great. If you don't, well, you'll more mystery and more reason to go back and watch older episodes. So yeah. I do like that the second portrait is Susan, his granddaughter, and that made me happy. That made me smile after I saw it. So, yay!
It made me
even with Capaldi's Doctor, like from where he was the last 2 seasons, like he seems quite more mellowed out.
Yep, definitely.
I kind of got nervous when I heard him playing the guitar.
Yeah.
I did not like that last series.
I really love that.
Oh, you mean fuck everything, Doctor?
Yeah, playing the guitar
on top of the tank.
Yeah, even Capaldi said that he didn't like that.
I wasn't a fan of them ditching all of his stuff throughout season 9. Like he loses the TARDIS, he loses the sonic screwdriver. He goes in and out from like wearing like a suit to like that weird hoodie thing he has.
Yeah.
It's just like he's in this weird in-between spot, and he doesn't get any of that stuff back until like the last few episodes.
Yeah, definitely. I do like that this episode, or this season, I feel like even the setup for like the finale feels different to me, and that's kind of what I meant earlier when I said this doesn't feel like a typical Moffat episode, because there's a way that he likes to set things up, where it's almost like, here, look here, this is where the setup is, and you won't know what's going to happen until very far down the line, and once it hits you, and you're like, okay, well, that was not what I expected. This, you see the setup, but it doesn't draw your attention as much. It's almost like, don't worry about it.
I'll say if there was, I missed it.
It's the gate. It's the doors down in the basement, and you don't even notice them. Which I guess again, for this being an introduction episode, that actually works to its benefit because you're not spending the whole episode wondering, well, is that with the doors in previous episodes? Is this a thing that's been there for all 10 of these last few seasons? And if you're someone who's never seen a single episode, you might think that. So I really like the way that this episode is constructed. It's very easy. It's something that I could probably show my mom, and she wouldn't want to continue watching, but she wouldn't be like, oh, this is terrible.
It also seems like after so long, like we're in the 10th year of the revival,
Yep.
It feels like the budget has finally caught up with the times.
I agree. And it's also the budget matches the story at this point.
Yeah.
Like
I was gonna say, even for Class, which also debuted, I thought it looked far more modern than I would expect a Doctor Who spin-off to look.
The water effects looked really great in this episode. Like
it really did. And in earlier seasons, what has happened is sometimes they've gotten the effects perfectly, like movie-level quality. A good episode is Rings of Akaton is a good example of this. Visually, it looks like Star Wars. But the story on that episode is not that great. And there have been times where they have, like, just forgotten about story and actually being compelling, but they've given us something that looks visually brilliant. And I feel like they finally have found a way to do both at the same time on this very low BBC budget. So I got to give them props for that.
Yeah, do we like Billy collectively? Everybody?
Yeah, I do.
he's fine. I'm not crazy about him.
Billy's the girl.
Billy's the girl.
Are you thinking of Nardole?
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. She's fine. I like her.
I forget how he got back and what this is. It feels like the third part of like the longest trilogy of all time of episodes.
At the end of when the set got taken off in Husbands of Our Song, the Doctor put it back, or basically built him.
Sometime in that in the last Christmas special.
Okay.
Yeah, he got a robot body.
Yeah,
it seemed like it.
Yeah, which I'm fine with. I really like the idea of a 3-person TARDIS team. It just works for me.
Well, I like that he has like a little like I don't want to call him manslave because he's not, but he has like almost like a little mechanic to follow him around.
Yeah.
What was the name of Batman's guy that was mute and homeless?
I don't know.
Shouldn't talk about Robin that way. That's kind of mean.
Not Robin. It was a guy that they recently brought back in All-Star Batman.
I do not know, and I read All-Star Batman.
It was in, I think, the 2nd or 3rd issue.
I can't even remember that part.
I don't remember. That book is like a roller coaster anyway. Remembering little moments is hard. But yeah, hey, Doctor Who's back after Jesus. How long was this wait?
We had a whole year without a season,
so
okay.
It feels way longer.
Because
technically, we had 4 months.
Well, I don't consider the Christmas specials. I consider those are like care packages to like keep us going. But I don't consider that a season.
Because like, isn't Tennant's Christmas special the one where he's in bed the whole time?
Yeah,
and it's like the unofficial
apple
episode
in his
0.
pocket.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really hate that episode.
Yeah.
Don't those...
the Christmas specials are kind of, they're a thing unto themselves.
Yeah, I consider them to be kind of throwaway. Like, I generally don't like them. I think the last 2 Christmas specials are probably the best, but I don't treat them with as much weight as I do a finale or a premiere or when Doctor Who does it, a mid-season premiere.
Yeah.
I know it's been a while, but the kid ghost.
Oh, from the gas mask ghost.
Yeah.
Ugh.
If Moffat really wanted to get comic book people, he would have had little ghosts freak out that he drew on his new comics.
God damn it.
Actually, I was gonna say, ranked among the scariest Doctor Who monsters, where are we putting this thing? Because this was not cool.
I put this right below the gas mask kid, and right above the angels. Because to me, scariest is always Vashta Narada, then gas mask, and then maybe there's something actually that I'm forgetting.
I think the what are they? The robots that they have two faces. They're like judges or something.
Oh God, no! There's nothing more terrifying than those stupid shits from the second. It's the second episode of Smith's Run, and they go to that spaceship that's on the space whale.
That shit horrified me.
And those fucking rotating faces.
Yeah, I hated that. I really hate the robots that are just all white and are like, "We are here to treat you. We are here to help."
Oh yeah.
You mean the one where Chem Jack pulled a gun out of his arse?
Oh, I love that one too.
When they're like, "Where could you have been hiding it?"
Oh yeah. He's like, "Where do you think?" That and the silence is probably still my most feared.
Oh yeah, the silence are down.
Technically, they're not the silence.
Whatever. We just know them. Okay. The
do you want to call
face? Them? Yeah. What do you want to call them? I'm not calling them scrotum heads.
I call them space priests or just greys because that's what they are. That's the idea that
they look like business aliens.
Yeah, they're greys with a sense of style.
Salaryman aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else have anything to say about this episode? Kind of lukewarm.
No, I feel like I haven't really been keeping up with Capaldi as a Doctor. I'm still watching through Matt Smith's run, to be honest. But this is definitely interesting.
His first episode is Capaldi with Capaldi is very amusing.
What's her face?
And Hunter, you didn't feel spoiled at any point, did you? You didn't feel like
I have at no point did I feel like I was spoiled.
Right. Which is an important thing, if you are somebody who's watching out of order somehow, or you just the new premiere, maybe I should try it. And so yeah, that's another good thing about this episode is even if you're someone who's tried before and you're like, I don't have the time, but I want to keep on watching, this is perfect.
Yeah, I think this season we get a culmination of the. I think we're going to go full circle back to I just mentioned the first episode of Capaldi's Run where he's like, "Why did I pick this face? Why am I so old and angry looking?"
Yeah, and we visit that a little bit, but I do want a final word on that. I guess we can talk about the trailer that came at the end of this.
Did this include a shot of him regenerating?
Yeah, and it also had fucking John Sim.
Yeah, my boy.
Which for me is okay. They're doing something that they've never done before, which I have to give them props for. But I'm also so wait a second. It took them 53 years to say, why don't we have two masters on screen at the same time?
I must have missed him entirely.
He's in the trailer, and the thing is,
he's got a beard now.
Short, and he's got the goatee. 100%. I'll actually.
Aww.
What if the master this season is just Peter Capaldi with a goatee?
Oh my god, that'd be the best.
I'd be on board 100%.
I mean, we did have an episode we had 3 doctors. Maybe through the whole timey-wimey nonsense we get, an episode with 2 masters.
Right, but the thing is, we've had episodes with multiple doctors since, the 10th anniversary.
Yeah.
So the fact that it took them 43 years to say, wait a second, we can do that with all the Time
Lords. We have other Time Lords.
We don't have to just have the Doctor. And it is a good idea because the Master always comes one step away from beating him. Well, what happens if you have 2 Masters? He gets much closer to beating him, and the odds are just stacked against him.
Weird to see him come back now because I'm very attached to Missy.
Yeah, I do want to know how they're going to interact with each other. I do hope it's not just like two people going crazy on each other because their energy levels are so heightened.
Well, and he's also he's 5 levels above her. Like his entire sequence where he's like slamming the barrel in like his debut episode, I think it is, and he's just got that maniacal grin on. Like Missy doesn't go. The actress who plays Missy doesn't go in that direction. That her master is very kind of.
When they brought the master back, he was basically a plot device.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah.
That would pay off a few
so that we can
later.
have lots of masters.
Yep.
Everywhere.
No. I'm talking about the whole rest.
Originally?
When they brought John Sim back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, they did. Yeah, and they did the same thing. And a common conspiracy theory is that Stephen Moffat is just redoing RTD stories, but better, which is something that I don't only agree with, but I support wholeheartedly. Because I think he is just going through his stories and just remaking them. And I think you could say that this episode is a remake of Rose. Pretty fairly.
Yeah.
I sent the master pick in the messenger feed, so.
Once my Facebook page decides to not be frozen, maybe I'll get a look at that. Anybody have final thoughts on Doctor Who?
Yeah.
No, it was a good episode.
Yeah, it's a good episode. Good starter.
Welcome back, Doctor Who.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is going to make me sound like
a nerd.
No, an asshole.
Like that.
Oh, do go on.
If there's a female doctor, I will stop watching the show.
Okay, Alan. Why? Please explain this to me. I want a solid reason other than he's never been a female before.
At the risk of having our most controversial episode ever, yes, please elaborate.
If it's a good reason, I'll hear it. No?
Because most people will be thinking, oh, the doctor is hot, I want to screw the doctor.
Oh, well, that's the thing.
People
you don't
think
get
that now as it is.
You get Helen Mirren, which is what I've said from the beginning, or maybe an actress of her caliber who is not as well known.
And you see, therein lies the problem. I think Helen Mirren is a fucking fox, so there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Also, we've established that Time Lords can come back as women. It's already happened twice. It might as well happen within
I wouldn't have any problem with it.
It's yeah. Anybody that plays that role is going to be temporary anyway. It's not like the status quo ever stays the same.
Yeah. Also, the whole thing of
a Nazi.
Okay, well that's a different thing.
I know. I just wanted to bring it up.
The whole thing of the Doctor being a woman, people think he's hot. Okay, well, was that a problem with Buffy? No, I don't think it was. Was that a problem with Captain Janeway? No, I don't think it was, and I will fight anyone who says otherwise. It's not really a problem. People act like it is a problem, but that's just that's just an assumption. We aren't all sexist dinosaur monster people or whatever. I mean, some of us are. You just gotta look towards Washington D.C. But most of us are good people, and we're not just going to assume that we're not just going to pay attention to the Doctor because the Doctor is hot. That's not. I don't
Doctor. Doctor has boobs now. Ooh.
Yeah. It's like that Stephen Moffat sketch that they did before Doctor Who came back.
The Curse of Fatal Death.
Yeah, where the Master shows up as a girl, and then the Doctor, in order to compete with her, decides to grow boobs. And it's pretty great. Yeah, I think we're good with the Doctor Who talk now.
Yeah, sure. We got all out.
Let's talk about something else.
Now we're going to argue real hard. I'm
gonna cloak and dagger, aren't you?
I'll let you guys guide the conversation, but
Sam,
all right,
let me get this out of my system.
I don't know much about. Neither do I. My only exposure with Cloak and Dagger is through fucking Maximum Carnage for the Super Nintendo. However,
was that the Spider-Man game?
Yes.
But that's
however, even with everybody.
So it was Marvel Ultimate Alliance before Ultimate Alliance.
Kind of. It was the game that made everybody realize. I think it was the game that everyone knew who Doppelganger was. That's that. Having stepped back and watched this trailer through the eyes of someone who's like, all right, this isn't made for me. Let's see what this is. It looks awful.
Okay. Listen. As someone who's a little bit familiar with the characters, not enough to say I'm an expert, I think they got screwed. This is just not.
I get that they're operating on a budget. It's freeform, but the trailer is 90 seconds of weird kind of traditional teen trite, and then all of a sudden, bam, superpowers, and they drop it
glow stick
later, and then oh my god,
I laughed my ass off when
holy crap! At some point, I guess what does she have light daggers, and she's produced a light dagger. It's literally a piece of plastic.
Yeah, it's a glow stick. That's all it is.
Also, that was the only evidence of anybody's superpowers. I didn't actually see Cloak do anything with his cloak. I just saw him with an open hoodie at some point, and that's it.
Okay.
It's just, I got nothing out of it.
Expected, really.
I got nothing out of it.
Here's what I saw, and I'm rewatching the trailer now. I see a freeform show that looks like it's actually being competently made, at least as far as the visuals, as far as most of what I'm seeing on screen. Because when I see freeform, what I think of is really cheap, really bad,
really disposable,
and just it just looks so bad that I want to care about it. Does that make sense?
No.
This, I was like, okay, well, at least there's some effort being made, even if they aren't achieving.
I will agree that there's effort there being made, but I don't think that it's. I don't think it's what Cloak and Dagger deserves, honestly.
Okay, that's fine, but it's freeform. I keep on saying it, but I've seen other freeform shows. I know the quality of them. This looks like they're actually going for something, which I guess, for me, I respect that more. If it was just a generic freeform show, I would be right on this hate train, but I'm not. I'm like, okay, they're going for something. They're not necessarily going to try and adapt the comic book, because doing that on a freeform budget can look really bad and really cheesy. It looks to me like they're saying, okay, let's make it look good. Let's at least maybe focus on the performances. And again, it's a trailer, so you can't really tell. It looks like none of the actors are phoning it in, as far as I can tell. It looks like they're taking it seriously. It looks like they're treating it like an indie movie. And I don't get the whole, it's high school trait. That stuff is compelling if it's told correctly. We can't tell if it's being well done from a trailer. Not truly. We have to actually.
Oh no, I'm not writing this off, but my first impression is in the toilet. Yes. Like I said, I got nothing out of it. I even stepped back for a second. After the first watch, I was like, what even was that?
Yeah, kind of the same. I don't have strong feelings about it. But I started hearing people talk about it and say that they hated it and they thought it was terrible. I was like, wait, what? This isn't a hateable trailer. This trailer, as far as trailers go, for television series, this is a 5 out of 10. Okay? Now, Hunter, I want your opinion as the person who wrote an article saying stop calling 7s zeros. Okay? Are you going to tell me that this trailer was a 0?
It's not a 0. I will agree with you there.
That's my point. Okay. It's not that bad. You're doing the exact same thing that you hate.
I know.
It's too hard.
I understand that what you're saying here, Owen. It's just
And that's my whole thing. I don't actually think this trailer is great.
I will not sit here and say that's awful. Like, I will say, though, that I don't think the characters are getting what they deserve, and I think that maybe it might not be that great.
Hunter, you're the person who said that you could write a 4-page article on how bad it was.
Alan, here's the thing. I exaggerate a lot. And
yes,
I admit that.
Don't we all?
Yeah, like...
I don't know. Like, I'm gonna watch the show, definitely. Like, I'll give it a chance. But, like, again, guys, talking to the world's #1 Teen Wolf fan, so even if the show is bad, I might still like it. Because if it's cheesy on a Teen Wolf level, then I'm in. I don't know. It looks, compared to everything else that it's going up against, with the exception of the DC stuff, it looks fine. It looks better than what I would expect. So, I don't know.
Again, I'll wait and see. Whatever.
Well, like, name the other shows that you would say look better than this from these kind of networks.
Not Krypton.
No, definitely not Krypton.
Well, that's another thing. We should talk about Krypton. Visually, because I watched that trailer and I didn't really care that much, so I watched it on mute. You know how Facebook, when you're scrolling through, if you don't click on it, it will just play it muted?
Yeah.
Visually, that sci-fi show looks great, actually. I thought all the visuals looked great. I thought the effects looked great for a trailer. Being impressed by visual effects, that's a rare thing. And I thought the set design looked great. There were a couple moments where I thought the costumes didn't look so great. But overall, I thought the design looked really good for a show on a sci-fi budget. So I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me.
I will say this much. Cloak and Dagger did not give me as much of a stink as Krypton did, because Krypton has Gotham funk just all over it.
Yeah, it feels like Superman Gotham, to me, at least.
It does look like a lot of people mugging the camera.
It is. It's lots of dramatic. It was like lots of dramatic exchanges, and like more like aggressive winks to the camera, like, "Oh, there's Superman as a baby, uh-huh." Which, again, it seems like it's going to be a lot of what Gotham was, which is bad puns and references that are not witty, but just references for the sake of being references.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like on Krypton, we'll have someone who's like, "Wow, you're a really smart guy," like some kind of brainiac.
God damn it.
That's the level of quality I expect from Krypton. With Cloak and Dagger, it just looks like it's something that's not for me at all.
Yeah. Yeah. I did like I didn't notice till rewatching it that Cloak. Cloak was next to a Roxxon sign.
I did see that, which makes me wonder where in the MCU it falls, if it does fall at all.
Yeah, definitely tonally. This looks closer to the Netflix stuff, which makes me think that the new Warriors show is going to be different. That it's going to be, or it's going to be exactly like this. And if it is, I don't know if I want that. You know what I mean? Like, here's the thing: if this had been a trailer for New Warriors, and Squirrel Girl looked as gritty and realistic as they're trying to make Cloak and Dagger look,
I'm gonna have a clear bias.
Yeah, what?
I'm gonna have a clear bias when it comes to New Warriors, but
yeah, no, that show needs to be goofy.
Yes.
Like, the first trailer should make us think that the show has a sense of humor, and that the characters themselves have a sense of humor about what they're doing. It should not be like this. And again, if this was the other show, I would be completely on the show looks terrible train. But my understanding is Cloak and Dagger are characters that lend themselves to something a little bit more serious.
I mean, intimacy is something that seems like it belongs in there. So, I mean, this looks like it does achieves that at least.
Yeah. And again, it really does depend on the actors. When we see the show and you see these actors in action, maybe they will impress us, and I think that might be like the key to this show. I don't think that the superhero stuff is primary, which I'm fine with, because let's be honest, what made Legion good? It wasn't the effect. It wasn't. Yeah, it was Noah Hawley and his direction, and it was some of the performances of the actors and the style of the show. And I will say that the style of the show isn't original. It's definitely something that we've seen before. But if it's done well, I won't care. The movie Upstream Color, it's a style, in a style that has been done before.
I mean, I suppose I can't complain too much, even if it says it doesn't look like it's for me, because I have been saying, like, maybe it's time for people to start reinventing the wheel for the comic book, media.
Yeah, definitely.
For the shows and movies alike, and it seems like people are doing that, but, like, I don't know. It's like the first, between, like, Iron Fist and this, it's like the first year where a few things that Marvel has made where I'm like, no thanks.
And that's the other
movie
thing.
TV-wise.
Compared to Iron Fist, that show has more style, and it looks like there's a creative hand behind it.
It also looks like there's something actually at stake. There's nothing ever happening in Iron Fist.
Yeah. It looks like the people involved actually care about what they're doing, and I felt that in the trailer. It might just be that the people making that trailer cared about what they were doing. That's also a possibility.
Yeah.
But again, I thought it was fine. There was some other Marvel news, the Infinity War stuff, and I didn't really read it exactly, but I watched a couple.
Anything about this yet?
And I guess the understanding that I got is that Infinity War, previously titled Infinity War Part 2, but currently untitled Avengers 4, is sort of the start of Phase 4, or sort of like the interim, like, Phase 3 is ending, Phase 4 is starting, type thing. It's not going to be as connected to Avengers 3 as some of us thought. I assumed that they were changing the title just because people are... They've recognized that when studios put Part 1 and Part 2 on their movies, they're just doing a cash grab. It took a Twilight movie, a Hunger Games movie, who knows what else.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter only did it once, though, and it was completely justified.
Yeah. But it took all of those movies for people to realize it was a cash grab. And so I assumed that was why they changed the title. But I guess they realized that the story didn't fit into two movies, like the way that they were planning it, and that they could fit all of Infinity War into one movie. Which just makes me it's weird saying, what is Avengers 4? Like, what is it? It's very undefined.
Avengers versus X-Men. Let's get this out of the way.
I mean, if they announced that, the reaction that was had when they announced Spider-Man, like, imagine
it would be tenfold. However, I don't want that. I don't want the X-Men in the MCU anymore. I think the MCU is too crowded. Let the X-Men have their own.
Yeah, it's working out for them.
Yeah, for now it's working out for them. I think the problem with X-Men is, like, they win us over and then they take 2 steps back. You know, that whole type thing. They'll make a Logan and they'll make a Deadpool, but in between them they'll make an X-Men and Apocalypse. So.
Yep, and they'll make a X-Men 2 and the Wolverine, and they'll also make X-Men 3.
Yep. And X-Men Origins. So
man, like, how many days a week I forget that movie actually happened?
Yeah. What happens?
Never forget
the last hour and a half of that movie. I remember the beginning part that was really good, and then the rest of it just floats away.
Well, the opening credits is the best teaser for a TV show we'll never get.
Yeah. I'm like, if it was me, and I was in charge of the X-Men, I would never sell X-Men Origins again, and what I would do is I would cut the first 30 minutes of Origins into the Wolverine, and then, but instead of ending it in Vietnam, end it in World War II, because how does the Wolverine open? With Logan in World War II. Although it doesn't quite work out because in the Wolverine, he's in Japan, and in X-Men Origins Wolverine, he's in Normandy. So, but
and Sabretooth was there.
I actually like that.
Oh, Liev Schreiber was the best.
We said on the Logan thing, he should have been back. I don't know. Like, Infinity War, it's an unknown quantity, which I'm kind of okay with that. I like there being a movie that we know what it is. We know it's clearly the Avengers, whoever the Avengers team is going to be at that point. Which, I mean, for all we know, the Avengers team at that moment is Rocket Raccoon, the Hulk, pick your other characters. It could be a completely different team than what we think it will be. But I like not knowing what it is going to be. I like that mystery. So, and also they made some comments about what Phase 4 is going to be. And that the goal with Phase 4 is to change things up, to experiment a little bit, to maybe break the formula.
Well, they started doing that.
Yeah, but they kind of, with Phase 3, and especially, I'll say, end of Phase 2 to now Phase 3, they have kind of hit this is how we make these movies, and these are the kind of people that we hire, and this is how the movies are going to look and how they're going to feel, and they're never really going to be too different from each other. They'll pretend to be in a certain other genre, but they'll never actually achieve true, I'll say, parody of that genre. And I would like to see them, like, really shake it up and, like, instead of, like, kind of doing a horror movie with Doctor Strange, like, do an actual horror movie. Like, do something terrifying.
So you're saying do what Josh Trank was trying to do with Fantastic Four, but, like, commit all the way.
Yeah, like, totally commit.
Goddamn.
That Fantastic Four movie, when we get to it, I'm going to defend the fact that the first 40 minutes is a body horror movie, and that's my favorite part.
And then it becomes one again at some point, when Dune comes back.
Yeah, and
I haven't seen this movie, actually, at all, so...
Oh, so you'll love when Dr. Doom just explodes people's heads.
That's
my
fucking
part
crazy.
There's a whole sequence where he gets up out of a hospital bed, and without moving in it, he's just walking, and with his mind, he's just blowing up people's heads.
It's pretty crazy. And the movie only, like, up until that point, I actually liked the movie. And I'll say it again when we do the episode. Eventually, when it gets bad is when they travel to another dimension and have a traditional superhero fight there.
Oh, God, it's
what I want. Yeah.
Insultingly derivative.
It's so bad. It's so generic, and it's so, like, oh, I know what's going to happen. He's going to say it's clobbering time here. 1, 2.
It becomes a different movie. It's hysterical.
Weird.
And it feels like it was made by committee in the last half hour.
It certainly was.
A whole hour. But that's... Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see if they'll actually make good on what they said. If they actually will experiment with things. Because I think they need to. I think that you can't watch Logan in the theaters and say, okay, well, let's just do exactly what we're doing right now and not change anything. I feel like that would be silly. And Kevin Feige, I like to give him credit for being smarter than that. So, yeah.
And they've also announced that Spider-Man will be in Avengers Part 4, I guess, is whatever it is, whatever it'll be called, which I suppose kind of squashes the rumor that Sony was just looking to immediately grab him back.
I doubt they will.
My understanding is that, so, Mike has him for these, and then they're doing, then he's contracted for 3 Sony movies.
So there's plenty of time.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's better than just snatching him back.
Yeah, and after the second one, the relationship with Marvel could end. So,
well, if they do that, I'm not going to see any of the Sony movies. Well, I
yeah.
have to because of this show, but, like, I might not pay money to see them.
Yeah. I don't think that that's going to happen, though. I'm not the first person to say this, but I think after Sony makes $1 billion, or even $800 million. Who knows how much money they're going to make this summer. After that happens, I don't see them saying, we're going to back out of this contract. Again, and we've talked about this before.
It is Sony.
Yeah. Unless the Venom movie hits, unless it comes out, and everybody loves it. And I mean everybody. Like, the rumors that I've heard since they announced the Venom stuff is that they're going for a claustrophobic horror movie. Very much in the style of Alien. I'm in. If they do it, if it comes out and it's good, and the second one is sort of like an Aliens type of thing, like an action horror thing, maybe with like Venom fighting like an army of like Carnage babies or whatever.
I'm just so opposed to that entire philosophy over there at Sony. Like, oh yeah, here, have Spider-Man, but all of his toys, we get to keep those.
Well, they still, it's really weird because it's like, okay, we're going to take certain characters that we don't think that Marvel is ever going to use, or that they've told us they're never going to use, because that is the thing. Marvel has said, and Kevin Feige has said, he never wants to touch Venom. He doesn't want to work with Venom.
I don't blame him at all.
Yeah, Venom's such a dick on set.
Yeah, he really is. He once ate a guy. He ate a guy for looking at him. It was really bad.
Topher Grace is really weird when he's hungry.
Yeah.
He's on that Seabiscuit diet 24/7.
Laura Prepon had to get the restraining order because he was just getting too weird. Yeah.
And that's why we don't see Topher Grace anymore.
That's exactly true. You heard it here, folks.
Nailed it.
The Phantom Zone.
Phantom Zone exclusive.
Yeah.
Topher Grace is Venom. Confirmed.
Yep.
Okay, I'm saying, and this comes from someone who loved him on that '70s show.
Right.
He's an okay actor. Yeah. I almost said great actor, then I kind of had to walk it back a little bit.
He's a great guy.
We'll never get to talk about it on the show. I mean, unless something's changed. But I think he's really great in Predators, so that's a thing.
Yeah, no, Predators.
He is great in Predators.
He does his role great in Predators. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it's not really a role. It's really just him playing Erik.
Yeah, until he becomes serial killer.
Right.
Spoilers.
Serial killer Erik.
Oh no! Let me not spoil this movie that came out in 2009.
Some people are gonna still come at us for that.
Some shit. Whatever. It's 7 years. Statute of limitations is up.
Yeah, and guess what? At the end, Adrian Brody, he lives. Woo! I bet you didn't see that coming.
Somebody says, "You ugly motherfucker."
Topher Grace becomes a bomb trap.
Yeah, which is.
It was really cool. Like,
I really love that movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it again.
Yeah. What was the other news? There was some other news stuff, I guess. Or was that it?
I don't remember.
We covered Krypton. Looks is bad.
General Zod joining Supergirl.
Oh, that big one.
Yeah, I only heard it right before we recorded. That's a thing.
I mean,
that's a pretty big deal.
It'll be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah.
Because they tend to be very, not self-aware, but they'll definitely make an in-joke. And I do wonder what direction they'll go, because they kind of did Zod. Not exactly Zod, but they did a version of Zod. Alan, maybe you remember his name, because I don't. But it was Non, and he was kind of like a Zod light, or a diet Zod.
Light Zod.
Yeah, so I'm wondering how they'll make him different from Non. Because to me, they're virtually the exact same character, and that's my biggest criticism of Supergirl Season 1 is they had a lot of characters who weren't that interesting in the sidelines, who were just knockoffs of the traditional Superman characters. So it'll be interesting to see how that works.
Yeah,
wonder which direction it'll go.
Will they CW has cast Mark Gibbon as Zod? And he's been on Smallville and Arrow.
Sounds familiar.
He was in he had a small role in Man of Steel.
Oh, go figure.
He played an oil worker who got saved by Superman.
Okay.
And the most bit of parts.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because they
I like Zod. That's interesting. It's also I guess it's more direct Superman stuff, but I suppose it could work. Zod's a legitimate threat too.
And Zod's going to make his debut in the season finale, which also has Superman in it.
It's interesting because I'd say that the two cinematic versions of Zod are both iconic, I think. So it would be interesting to see how this new actor does it. Because I actually can't remember the Smallville Zod, either version.
Calvin Blue?
Yeah. Because I think that's the only season I didn't see. And then...
Yeah, that was season 9.
And then was it Rosenbaum who became Zod at one point?
That was season... I want to say 5? The beginning of season 5?
Yeah, and he really wasn't he wasn't doing anything different from what he did as Lex, to me. Like, he just seemed like a more, I don't know, angrier Lex. So he wasn't anything interesting.
Here's the thing with the Zod too, is that you can't pull from Michael Shannon's performance because Michael Shannon's performance is so fucking dialed up.
I mean, but he's Michael Shannon, so it's good.
Yeah, Michael Shannon looks like your friend's drunk uncle who would stare at you from across the room, not knowing whether he would get up and beat your ass for no reason.
That's why he works so well on Midnight Special.
So and Terrence Stamp as Zod is very he's a bit more regal, a bit more hoity-toity.
He's doing a pantomime performance.
It is very, it's very gesture heavy.
Yes. So it's interesting because those are really the two to pull from, and whichever one you compare, it's going to be something. It's going to be hard to live up. And CW, I'd say they're hit and miss with their guest performances.
They could always pull a Mallrats.
Yeah.
Kneel before Zod. Snoochie Boochies.
I think
okay. We're fooling ourselves. We think that line isn't getting said.
Yeah,
I get that'll be his opening line. He'll come into frame and be like, kneel before Zod, and then commercial break.
Yeah,
I kind of want the Snoochie Boochies.
Well, wish in one hand and shit in the other.
No, what will happen is Supergirl will have to tie her boots, and she'll kneel down, and then it'll pan up to Zod's face, and he'll wink at the camera.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know.
It's interesting. I like the fact they're bringing A-list villains in instead of having us deal with
what's
her face?
Livewire.
Yeah.
Livewire.
Oh boy. I
never want to see Livewire again. No thanks.
Still, the best irony of DCTV. I suppose
Maxwell Lord is hi, I'm not Lex.
Yeah. And Lena is... We'll see what happens with Lena. She's developing into a thing, for sure.
She's going to be a Season 3 regular.
Yeah. She'll probably be the...
female Lex Luthor.
Yeah. They'll make her the villain in Season 3 because CW doesn't know how to wait on things, which is becoming a criticism.
We still don't know who Savitar is.
We still don't know.
Yeah. That's...
And there's 4 episodes left.
I think it's because they know the reveal is bad, so they moved it.
I would say this break we're on right now from the CW shows is the biggest detriment to the Flash right now.
Yeah, I'm all right with it because it's all the shows, and because I feel like it could have been longer. I feel like they gave us these little mini breaks for some of the shows, but I'm still we should have it by now. They could have come back this week. I know they could have.
And let's all cross this bridge now. It's Barry. It's Barry.
I don't think it's Barry.
It's Wally.
I really don't think it's Barry.
It's Wally.
I think
It's Jay Garrick.
See, that one makes sense. The Barry, someone pitched a theory to me the other day about that. Savitar is the time remnant that Barry brought in from season 2 and then just offhandedly murdered.
That's something I'm okay with. Another one I've heard is that Savitar is Eobard, and he's season 1 Eobard, who got sucked up into the time displacement thing. And I don't know. There's so many different things he could be. I don't care about Savitar, though. I definitely think...
Oh, I don't give a shit about Savitar.
Yeah. Preemptively, I think Flash is the worst it's ever been. And the worst this season, I'd say. I think it's definitely the loser. And
undoubtedly.
Yeah. And that says a lot, because Supergirl isn't great this season. It's better than it was first season, I think. I think first season...
no Arrow.
Arrow has been...
Never thought I'd be saying that.
Arrow has been impressing me. I guess we can talk about the scissor reel. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I posted it in the chat.
I haven't seen it yet. I know Manu is back up here.
Yeah, he's back.
He shows up. He appears at the end of the trailer
as a voice, but I don't care. I don't care if it's Manu and just a guy in a suit. As long as it's his voice, I'm in.
That leads me to believe they're dropping Deathstroke from that Batman movie. I'm telling you.
I think that they are.
Also,
I think that
the Supergirl, Flash, and Arrow are going to end on the week of May 22nd.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all going to end pretty close to each other. So yeah, that'll be interesting. But yeah, I'm most excited for Arrow coming back. I'm not really excited about Flash.
This one in Flash is just like, I just want to rip that Band-Aid off and get it over with.
Yeah.
And then just get to the finale so I can get an idea of what we're going to get next year.
Yeah, I guess that is something to think about, because I don't know where they go now. Barry reset the timeline again. I'm dropping the Flash. Barry needs to learn from his mistakes eventually. The plot point, Barry is dumb, needs to be retired. Which is like, find other ways to create conflict. Do it. It's
also stop making all the problems in the show the direct result of the protagonist's meddling.
Right. Like I get it. We did kind of whine when they tried to make Cisco emo and stuff, but that's not the answer either.
Yeah, exactly.
Find other ways to make us care about the bad things befalling these characters, other than, I brought this upon myself and I'm so angry about it. Because it gets really boring really fast after 3 seasons of it. We're kind of done with it. Just a little bit.
Just a little. Just a little.
I mean, and it goes back to the beginning of the season. Flashpoint should have been half a season.
Yep.
Or it should have been up until Invasion. Spend that Christmas special, or that Christmas episode right before the break, setting up the rest of the season, setting up how things are different, setting up the villain post Flashpoint, and
how touching would it be for us to see one more Christmas with the Allens all together before he goes back and undoes everything?
Yeah, totally. It would have been so much more interesting, and we really I remember our opening episode for Flash this season. We didn't hate the show. We were excited.
No. We really make one thing abundantly clear. I love The Flash, even when it sucks. But it sucks.
It really did suck this year. Like, this is... I'm not going to say it's season 3 of Arrow bad, because that's mean. Very mean. It's mean on so many levels. It's bad. Like, I mean, I will say this. The general quality of all these shows, on average, is better than it has been ever. As far as, like, all the shows being fairly close in quality. still one of them is far less good than the rest of them, and it's noticeable.
And the problem is, it's a big. Forget the identity, like the speedster thing. We've hit the 3 biggest notes this show can hit in 3 consecutive seasons.
Yeah, it's like retire the speedster for a while.
They're gonna have to, unless they bring Godspeed in season 4, which would be obnoxious. They're not. They've already said they're not going to use a speedster for season 4, but we'll see how that goes.
Here's the thing: they said that about this song, also.
Yeah,
is why
we were told we were getting. Well, it was Dr. Alchemy, and then all of a sudden Savitar.
Yeah, it was a bait and switch, and I don't care.
They announced them both simultaneously.
Oh,
No.
that's right. They didn't announce Savitar for the season, but they made no implication that he was going to be this season's big bad guy.
They said there were going to be 2 big bads.
A full month before. Okay, they announced Alchemy a full month before they announced Savitar existed. They did announce a second villain, but they didn't announce who it was. They made no specifics about who the second villain was.
And let's be real, Alchemy was never once a threat.
Right. He was not a thing.
At all.
Because the Flash writers, and this is a problem, I think they rested on their laurels this season.
And think about this, we got 2 evil speedsters this season.
Yeah, the Rival and Savitar.
Yep.
Which is just like, come on, guys. We've seen this before, and I think that's our biggest problem, is like, we've seen you do it twice, and the second time wasn't as good as the first time, so what makes you think the third time's going to be the charm?
Also, can I just say this about the Rival?
Yeah.
His suit was so fucking stupid.
It was fine.
No, his devil ears don't make any sense.
So, my favorite thing about the Rival is that he's a near anime villain. Like, he just...
Yeah. He comes off as the Dan Hibiki of speedsters.
Yeah, no, he's just so
sucks.
like, I love him so much. Like,
yeah, I feel like he was a joke of like, well, how do we redesign the suit again without going in a completely different direction? We'll give him pins.
Put some fire on that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Just stop with the speedsters. I remember saying it since season 2. Mirror Master is the main villain. Well, I regret that idea because they really didn't do Mirror Master that well. I feel like we're doing our season look back already, but I don't know.
We should probably save this conversation for a few weeks from now when all the shows are over. But I think we're done.
Yeah, yes. I guess plugs, guys.
Hey, everybody. Go follow me on Twitter at Western Commander. I am still trying to come up with a reason to tweet more. So,
You can follow me on Twitter at Davenport. You could read my writing of Lost Horror. Follow my Tumblr. Cosmic Ocelot is dead.
You're pretty good.
Yeah.
Some video game hour teases, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously, though, Hunter put up a really touching piece about...
It took me 3 weeks to write.
You had writer's block. Everyone gets
it. But yeah, I wrote a really good piece about the X-Men and my mental health. You should go read that. It's a good article, I think.
You can follow me on Twitter at DLMir, and you can also read my writing on The Harrow.
Yep.
Where I reviewed the first part of the Bun crossover between Batman and Flash.
Yep.
And and look out for a project that me and Hunter are collaborating on.
Yep.
And me, but I'm just the talent.
Oh no, this is a different project.
Oh, well, cool. Not me. Hi, everybody.
No, that's coming. That'll be coming very soon.
The other project, technically, since the one that they weren't referencing, the one that you teased, technically that makes you a featured writer by default. So,
Pick a name, Connor.
All right. This imaginary podcast resume I have is starting to look really sweet.
And also, as they mentioned, you can go to losthorror.wordpress.com. You can find my writing there when I decide to do it. You can find, as Hunter and Alan said, you can find their writing. Alan mostly does news, but he's venturing out of the nest a little bit lately. You can find a lot of other really cool people on there who may or may not be guests on this podcast in the future. Who knows? You never know.
I do have something that I'm working on, so.
Ooh.
Yeah, more teases. I have more projects coming out than I can handle. Yay!
Yeah, and I mean, maybe everybody should take a hint from me and not reveal them until they have them ready. But that's just my thought. Follow me on Twitter at AAHaro. Get my dumb thoughts, my randomness. Earlier, I retweeted a thing about quicksand form. So have fun, guys. Also, you can find this podcast and all the other ways to listen to the podcast at thephantomzonepod.wordpress.com, YouTube, not WordPress, Feedburner, iTunes, all the different ways. Please share that site. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell everyone.
Tell your grandma.
Shirts. Yes, tell your grandma. This show is mostly family friendly.
Except when Chris is on.
Yeah. Which seems to be less and less now.
My dream is coming true.
Like the videos on YouTube, and maybe connect your YouTube to your Twitter so that anytime you like something, you get shared. That's something you can do, or at least just like our videos and share. Please, we're all starving.
Indeed.
Views could make this into an actual business for us. So, yeah. Please share your love for the show. And
click all the things.
Yes, click them. Rate, review, and all the different places you can go and read that book. I don't know if that's the title, but you know what I mean.
And for that person in the iTunes review said we don't talk about comics enough, we will. Just give us time, damn it.
Oh wait, we have iTunes reviews?
Review?
That was Ed.
Well, it's the Phantom Zone. It's a very... And we never said we were going to talk about comics. We've said from the very beginning. Our focus is DC TV. That's been our focus from the start. So, I don't know what they want. Yeah. I think we're good.
Fuck out of here. Fuck X-Men Apocalypse.
There we go.
Bye.